Hello and welcome to Moderate Bodyweight Home Workout. This video will include 15 minutes of bodyweight exercises. It will be non-stop, moderate intensity with 30-second sets, and a bonus 5 minutes of stretching. Each exercise will be listed on the left side of the screen and a video preview will be shown underneath. The timer will be shown in the top right-hand corner. Red means start, give your best effort, yellow, keep going, and green, look at which exercise is up next, and rest if you need to. Now that the layout of the video has been explained, let's get started. The first exercise is arm circles. Put your arms straight out to the sides and move them in a forward circular motion. Try to ensure that both of your arms and shoulders are moving equally on both sides of your body. If you look closely, you'll notice that most of the exercises I do are imbalanced on one side or the other. This is normal. Using a mirror will help you keep both sides balanced. Next, we have arm circles in a backwards motion. Up next, we have half squats. A half squat is doing a squat to half the depth of your normal squat at this stage, or getting your thighs to a 90-degree angle with your lower legs. When doing any kind of squat, you should ensure that your knees stay behind your toes. Up next, we have jumping jacks. Up next, we have large arm circles. Large arm circles are the same as normal arm circles with a much larger range of motion. Up next, we have large arm circles moving backwards. Up next, we have knee push-ups. This is essentially a standard push-up with your knees on the ground. Try to keep your elbows tucked closely to your sides and let your chest touch the floor very gently. Up next, we have a plank hold. While doing a plank, in order to make sure that your abdominal muscles are doing most of the work, pull your belly button towards your spine. Up next, we have crunches. When doing crunches, ensure that only your shoulder blades lift off the floor, using your abdominal muscles to lift them up. Going too high while doing crunches may result in lower back pain and injury. Up next, we have side plank. While doing a side plank, try to lift your hips as high as you can towards the ceiling and push your pelvis slightly forward to make sure that your body is in line from your head to your toes. Up next, we have side plank on the opposite side. Up next, we have knee raises. When doing knee raises, ensure that the curve in your lower back is flat against the floor by tensing your abdominal muscles. Try to focus on using these muscles to pull your legs off the floor. Up next, we have glute bridges. Keep your feet firmly planted on the ground and raise your pelvis as high as you can using your glutes, lower back muscles, and hamstrings. Your pelvis should be just above the floor at the end of the descending part of the exercise. Up next, we have knee push-ups. Up next, we have squats. Once again, ensure that your knees stay behind your toes and try to go as low as you can without curving your lower back. Up next, we have standing knee lifts. Try to balance on one leg, keeping your form as stable as possible by tensing your hips and your glutes. You should mostly feel this in your hip flexors, the muscles on the sides of your hips, and your glutes. Up next, we have straight punches. Try performing each punch with your entire body, rotating on the balls of your feet, moving your hips, and rotating your fists inwards. Up next, we have straight punches using the opposite stance. Up next, we have jumping jacks. Up next, we have knee push-ups. Up next, we have one-leg stands. Stand straight on one leg, attempting to keep your balance as stable as possible. This will ensure that your stability muscles are being worked for that leg and for the rest of your body. Up next, we have one leg stand on the opposite leg. Up next, we have hooks. As with straight punches, doing hooks involves rotating at the balls of your feet, your hips, and rotating your fists inwards towards the center of your body. Up next, we have hooks in the opposite stance. Up next, we have shoulder circles. These are similar to arm circles, except your elbows are completely bent. This will reduce the load on your shoulders and allow you to keep working them. Up next, we have shoulder circles moving in a backwards motion. Up next, we have a variety of isometric bicep exercises. Allow yourself to be creative when doing isometric exercises. Just make sure that the muscles that you want to target are being worked. Up next, we have isometric tricep exercises. Up next, we have isometric abdominal twists. Up next, we have isometric back exercises. In this exercise, I am imitating the motion that I would make while doing a pull-up and then extending the range of motion. Now you can relax because up next we're starting our stretching routine with the right arm. Ensure that your wrist is comfortable while doing this stretch by rotating it either left or right, and relax your muscles as you feel the stretch running from your forearm to your biceps. Up next, we're going to stretch our left arm. Up next, we're going to be stretching our hamstrings. Keep your head in line with your hips so that there's no curvature of the lower back. Then rotate your torso forwards so that you feel the stretch mostly in your hamstrings but also in your glutes. Up next, we'll be stretching the quads. Sit on your feet and support yourself with your arms behind your back. Start this stretch with your arms fully extended behind your back, as going down too low too soon may lead to injury and prevent you from being able to get back up. Contract your glutes to rotate your pelvis forward, intensifying the stretch throughout your quads. Up next, we'll be stretching the calves. In yoga, this position is known as downward dog. Try to keep your head in line with your hips in order to keep your back straight. Push your heels in towards the ground and push your shoulders forward as far as possible. Up next, we'll be doing the scorpion stretch on the right hand side. This stretch should be avoided if you have any lower back injuries. Lie down on your stomach and put your arms straight out towards your sides. Raise your left foot over your right leg and place it on the floor as far away as you can. Keep your shoulder pressed firmly against the ground. You should feel the stretch in your pec and your thigh. Up next, we'll be doing the scorpion stretch on the left side. Up next, we'll be doing the Jefferson curl stretch. Start by standing up straight. Tuck your chin in towards your chest. Curl your torso so that you feel the stretch moving down your back. Lower your torso, bending at the hips. Feeling the stretch move down your hamstrings. Reach for the floor with the tips of your fingers in a relaxed way. As you relax, you should be able to stretch deeper. Up next, we'll be stretching the stomach. If you have lower back injuries, this stretch should be avoided. In yoga, this position is known as the cobra or upward dog. Keep your hips flat against the floor and push your torso up with your arms. An easier version of this stretch is to push your torso up, keeping your elbows on the ground. Breathe in deeply to intensify the stretch of the abdominal muscles. Up next, we'll be stretching the back and lat muscles. In yoga, this is known as the child pose. Keeping your palms on the ground, drag your arms backwards until you're just barely sitting on your feet. Up next, you're done. Get ready for that celebration. I'd like to thank all the artists that allowed me to use their music in this video. If you'd like to follow them or follow me on social media, please check the description below. If you'd like to see more of these videos, as well as the occasional video on self-development, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and as always, I hope you found this helpful.